Item number 1B, Twin Palms Neighborhood Organization requesting a street name change of Arkea Road to William Krisel Way. Staff report, please.
Mr. Mayor and members of council, we received an application from the Twin Palms Neighborhood Organization requesting to change the name of Arkea Road from Arkea to William Krisel Way in honor of the architect. The road itself is only 1 block long. There are 3 properties that are immediately adjacent to the road. None of them are addressed off of this road, and so consequently the change in the street name will not impact any existing addresses of record. Also, I should note that Arkea Road has another segment up near Ruth Hardy Park. That segment of the road is not going to be changed. It's only the 1 block segment that lies between East Palm Canyon and Twin Palms Drive. The street name change has been reviewed by our fire, police, and our public agencies in terms of any conflicts with the proposed street name. It appears that there aren't any, and so consequently the street name should be ready for your approval. The representatives of the neighborhood organization are here this evening. If you have any questions, I'd be happy to answer those, but we also have the representatives from the neighborhood here who can tell you a little bit more about the reasons behind the street name change.
Okay, any other questions for Flynn? Flynn, I just want to note on page 3, there are probably 3 or 4 places where the Q is a G, so let's just make sure we clear that up.
Okay. Spell check doesn't catch Arkea.
Yeah, that's okay. It's a tough word. All right, seeing none, I will open the public hearing. Eric, if you will come forward and give us your report. And before you give your report, I want to tell you and the neighborhood organization what a nice, detailed piece of work you delivered to us.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. And good evening, council members. I'm Eric Chiel. I chair the Twin Palms Neighborhood Organization, and I am representing, I believe, the rest of the representatives of that neighborhood here tonight. As you know, William Krisel is among a small group of architects whose mid-century desert modernist style significantly influenced the look of Palm Springs, our demographics, our assets as a travel destination, and in doing so, our economy. For Palm Springs, this style is not just an aesthetic, but a reliable and increasingly important source of income, prestige, and international acclaim. The advisory board of the Twin Palms Neighborhood Organization proposes that it would be a fitting recognition of the impact of Mr. Krisel's life work for a street in our neighborhood to bear his name. We believe that the portion of Arkea Road that's within Twin Palms neighborhood is the most ideal candidate for this honor because this particular street is unique in that it is a gateway off of Palm Canyon Drive into the first mid-century modern neighborhood completed from Mr. Krisel's designs in the entire Coachella Valley. This street is also the entry to the first truly modern housing tract in our city, and it's immediately adjacent to the Ocotillo Lodge, the first completed structure in Twin Palms. In the short term, the ceremony our organization would like to plan around the name unveiling will generate marketing value from which both the neighborhood and the city will benefit. This would take the form of news and feature coverage throughout the region, but also national and international coverage in architecture and design media. For the long term, this location will remain a unique attraction at the south end of town, introducing even more visitors to our nearby restaurants, hotels, and other amenities. In fact, the renamed street would be just steps away from an existing bus stop, providing yet one more reason for people to ride our trolley. Our organization's advisory board has encountered no opposition to the proposed change. Rather, expressions of community support have been voiced by our city's first responders, by nearly 60 Twin Palms residents and owners, by the Modernism Week organization, and by board members representing 5 neighborhoods immediately adjacent to Twin Palms. If approved, the renaming will forever define the historical epicenter of Mr. Krisel's contribution to our city. So we hope that you appreciate this proposal as both a neighborhood enhancement, but also as an entirely new and highly marketable city asset worthy of your support as well. Thank you.
And thank you. Is there anybody else in the audience that'd like to speak on this item? Seeing none, I will close the public hearing. Councilman Mills.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. There, certainly, there's a very, very thorough report on Mr. Krisel and his value of his architectural work, which I appreciate. I had a question because I didn't see anything that dealt with why this street was named Archaea in the first place, and I wonder if anyone has done any research on that. So I don't know, Flynn, if you're the one or.
Unfortunately, I don't have any information relative to the original naming of Archaea. And then in my mind, and I certainly don't object to the renaming. And as Eric said, you couldn't have picked a better street because it just does, it doesn't. There's no one really addressed off of it. But I do have a concern that why was that street named that in the first place? And so if I don't know if
Mr. Chiel, back up. He may have the answer for you. You are. Come on up to the mic.
Right back up.
Yep.
Even weren't coming up here, but it was researched, and there was nothing that I can find both through an internet search and also working through the Palm Springs Historical Society. They could find no record of the source of that name. But just the same as was mentioned earlier, if there is any honorific to be compromised by switching out that name, it's preserved by the 2-mile stretch of Archaea Road that will remain in the central and northern portion of the city.
Okay. Thank you. That was my concern, Mayor.
Okay. We have a motion to approve by Ms. Fote. A second by Councilman Mills. Ms. Fote.
Yeah, no, I just wanted to say again, Eric, this was an incredible packet. I found, usually we get these packets and they're so full of history and you get tired of reading them, but this was so well done. So our thanks to the neighborhood and to you for doing this, because it made it really clear that we needed to do this. So I made the motion.
Motion unanimously carried 4-0.
Hi, Eric. Yay.